Well, we've assumed for a while it will be Trump v Biden in the presidential race. Will that happen, though? Increased chatter of maybe the Democrats need to break glass after another bad stumble today by the president. Let's bring in my Sky News colleague, former Labor Minister Graham Richardson. Richo, quite the moment today when you want to come out and look presidential and say, no problem with my memory. You get a basic, you confuse Mexico with Egypt. This is a pretty bad look. I know that might seem like optics to some, but you're the president of the US.
Oh, it's more than optics. This guy has a real problem. It's sad, for all of us that America can do no better than a contest between Biden and Trump. You'd think they'd be able to find someone better because these two are hopeless. And Biden, I think, well-intentioned, a decent man, but past it, clearly past it. And you need, I don't think you need necessarily a young person, but you need a younger person. I think this bloke's just too old. And some people at that age, it doesn't affect, but it is affecting him, no question.
Yeah, well, he's not young. I think it's important to note that, even at the start of his term, he wasn't young, but he was seen as performing well enough there. The question is, does he cop the tap on the shoulder? They've got this strange system over there, don't they, where basically if you're the sitting president, you almost always get another crack at it, but we've never had a president this old. Do you think there will be that last-minute change?
I doubt it, but I hope I'm wrong. If something could be done to get a better candidate, for the Democrats especially, it'd be terrific because the Democrats are likely to win. I don't think there's much doubt about that. I don't think America's ever going to put Trump back. And so we ought to look for something better than what we're going to get. I think it's sad for us, but imagine if you're an American, it's even sadder for them.
Yeah, it's going to be quite the election campaign. Hey, back home, the slow burn is what it's been described as, the attempt for the coalition to make Labor pay for the broken promise. If you're Labor, is there anything specific you can do to ward that off?
I don't think you need to do much because I don't think it's got much traction. I think, the Albo's likeability factor gets him through so much and it'll get him through this.
Well, the problem is, though, any other sort of element that they're asked about, other tax changes, because if you look at stage 3, we know they didn't like it. Eventually, they kept telling us they were going to keep it anyway, and then eventually they changed it. You could say that about a whole lot of other different taxes. So that's going to mean they lose some skin, you'd think?
Well, you lose some skin because, you disappoint some people, but you please a lot of others. So it's comme ci, comme ça. I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Fascinating to think of who's risen in the ranks, because you mentioned Anthony Albanese. But Jim Chalmers, he's the one that really pushed for this change. Does this sort of burnish his leadership credentials, dare I say it?
I doubt it very much. I think if Albo get hit by a bus tomorrow, it would be a contest between Miles and Chalmers, and it would be very close. I'd hesitate to try and pick the winner of who'd win that ballot. You've got all the Victorians supporting Miles, and of course Victoria's our strongest state. But then you've got a hell of a lot of people everywhere else supporting Chalmers. So it would be very interesting to see how it'd go.
The last leadership contest was an interesting one. That would be very different if it were a prime ministerial one. Not that I'm suggesting it's about to be the case, but it's always good to speculate. Richo, thank you.
Okay, Tom.